All right, guys, my people. When I know you what the Apple Sona say, because the case for Samuel Ekpa they go on for Finland. Now, not say they talk and say they want to give him 6 years for terrorism and all that. But after they talk, so Samuel Ekpa don't deny IPOB. He say he not be IPOB leader. He is just a content creator. He doesn't have anything to do with IPOB at all. You understand? Ah, God. The same man that have been calling for continuous sit at home. Now they deny everything so. Let's watch this.
In a twist that has left many Nigerians both amused and outraged, separatist agitator Simon Ekpa told a Finnish court that he is not a leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He's just a content creator. Ekpa, who has been at the center of countless online videos calling for sit-at-home protests and threatening violence across Nigeria's southeast, is now claiming all that he was doing was content and it was simply for leisure. According to media reports, his legal team in Finland is arguing that the videos he published were not real-world directives, but online content purely meant for entertainment. Now, this is coming as Finnish prosecutors push for a 6-year jail term, accusing Simon Ekpa of public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent and participating in a terrorist group. Now, IPOB has since distanced themselves from him, and its leadership says that Ekpa no longer has ties to their organization and that his actions have caused more harm than good. As this trial unfolds, the court's final decision will, of course, set a precedent on how international jurisdictions handle politically charged content in the digital age. What is interesting to me is to see that there are real-life consequences for digital character, if you ask me. I think this is, I don't know if this is cunning or if this is a convenient defense on his part, but his actions and his incitement did have real-world consequences and were very inflammatory. Let's take a look at social media. At Afam says, just finished listening to Simon Ekpa's court proceedings and I'm honestly in disbelief. During cross-examination, he completely distanced himself from IPOB, claiming he's merely a content creator. According to him, everything he's done was simply acting, nothing more. That doesn't sound like a very courageous leader to me. We'll take one more tweet. At NAIJA says, this is not only insulting, it's cowardice at the highest level. People have died, schools shut down, businesses collapsed, and entire communities lived in fear. All based on the commands of a man now pretending it was all for entertainment. Team, this is very, very interesting. We are seeing in Delta State, vigilantes have actually gone and killed people in cold blood. Now, while some people are arguing that this is mob justice, other people are saying there's gaps in policing, there's gaps in security. We had no choice but to step in. What do you make of this?
When vigilantes have to step into things like this, the mentality is that of communal clash. They'll behave as if they are going through a communal clash. Now, what vigilantes do in a situation like this is when you get the guys, you hand them over to the police. But so far, that trust deficit on our security architecture, our government and all that, it's actually affecting us. I think that governors should take these warnings seriously. If the governor of Delta State has taken this warning seriously and allow state actors to go into this business, the vigilante would have just been like a support group for the right people to do it. Yeah, luckily, they got, but how do we know that they got the actual kidnappers? Somebody identified one person. Thank God for that. And for Simon Ekpa, I've seen some of his videos, very inciting videos, and you call that content creation? Maybe he should go to school again to find out what the meaning of content creation is all about, because to me, those things he did is not content creation, it's inciting a society.
I mean, a number of businesses were destroyed as a result of his statement. A number of people lost their lives as a result of his statement. People could not go out of their houses, so businesses were lost. Billions of naira lost as a result of his kind of entertainment. What are we saying? What is entertainment? In fact, those that are defending him, where is your conscience? That's my concern. People have lost their life as a result of your kind of entertainment and your kind of content creation. And you stay in your house dancing in your videos, inciting people, and you have the guts to say it is entertainment? How? I recall that this man in prison had actually said that he has no connection with Simon Ekpa. He mentioned it several times in court because he's being prosecuted as we speak. So I do not want to talk about him that much. But it is sad to see that Simon Ekpa is speaking in this manner and his defense counsel are also speaking in the same light. We must see justice not just done, but seen to be done at the end of the day, because he has to give account for the lives and the properties that were destroyed. And then for the matter of Delta State, I think that because of the wheel of justice that grinds slowly in this part of the world, a lot of people begin to take laws into their hands, and that's what we are seeing. We mentioned earlier, Olamide, that the people had been crying out about the fact that there were a lot of actions of kidnappers and all. How did the government respond to these cries and calls? And so people decided to take action the best way they can. They want their own kind of justice. And that is why we are seeing this. In a society where the wheel of justice grinds slowly, we see these kinds of issues.
I want to start with Mr. Ekpa, because I've seen his videos on social media. And Olamide, trust me, when I came, that was yesterday, I came across a post on social media that said he was creating content. I was totally, you know, I don't even want to use the word I want to use. First of all, we can call him a coward, because he made all these things. He made all these things, and then now you see he sees that problem is coming and he's saying it's content. It was not content. It was never content. I don't know if he understands the impact of those videos he was making, the impact he had on many people. I don't think he gets it. And anybody that supports him as well, I would join the person to the bandwagon and say that it's really inhuman, because it's not content. And I pray that the law really takes, you know, the stage on him and what he did, because you cannot say that is content. We see content on social media, but there's a limit to content you create as well. So I really hope that he faces the law on this one. And also, I'm never in, you know, I never support violence, but it's sad that the people have now taken powers into their hands, and this is because they've been crying. So my only cry with this is that I think it's high time the government will start listening to the people. You know, I don't know if the governor of the Delta State has come out to say anything, but we need to start listening to people, because when you don't listen to your citizens, this is what will happen. Normally, I would have said that when they caught the kidnappers, they should have taken them, you know, to the police station. But then they'll tell you, if they take them to the police station, nothing will happen. At the end of the day, people do not even trust our police force anymore. So please, this is my cry. We need to listen to our people, and so that we don't keep seeing, you know, them taking violence and justice into their hands. I really do not support, you know, justice like this, and violence.
Indeed. I think that's also why the conversation around the state, you know, police is still on the front burner.
Absolutely.
That we need to look into a legalized security system, so that if they are, you know, put in place, they can quickly nip some of these very local, you know, matters in the bud before it becomes a national conversation.
Yes.
Because we cannot keep allowing, you know, marauders to inflate or invade communities and do what they're not supposed to do. And then the narrative keeps changing from that onto something else. We need to look at that and quickly expedite the process of creating a state police, if that would be the case, so that at the end of the day, everybody would feel safe in their homes. For Mr. Ekpa, well, I think the guy was just trying to downplay content creation. Maybe he needs to redefine what he defines as content creation, because at the end of the day, you cannot be putting such kind of violent, vile, viced languages out there on air, and then at the end of the day, you say that it was an entertainment. Man, that cannot be an entertainment that leads to loss of lives and property. So I think we need to look at this again. Again, the government, when they talk about regulating social media space, some of us, you know, raise a hue. But look at what this has done. This was on social media for a number of periods. And then we've seen the after effect of that. Should we then go back to regulating that? Or should we reschool ourselves as to what should be the kinds of content we put out? What we do at an individual level has effect at a cross-border level. So we need to be sure what we do so that everybody feels safe at the end of the day.
Indeed, and some might argue that this is an insult on Nigerians' intelligence. To tell us we watched you make inflammatory remarks, and to come and have that sort of defense in court is absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah.
If this one not shock you, I don't know what it will shock you again. Samuel Ekpa have finally denied IPOB. He's saying the content creator. May them please reduce his jail sentence. If I say that live broadcast now go expatiate this one properly. Yes, on the live broadcast. What do I know? This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigeria time. Let's continue to talk about it. That's affecting you and I. Take care, guys. Bye for now.